Very good, guys. What's up? Sorry for the delay. Here we are. What's up? Where are you? Can you hear me? Is everything
Hello, teacher.
perfect? Hello,
Yes.
Isaac. How was your weekend?
A little tired, but it was
Yes?
good. Yes.
Tired, tiring. ing.
We
Tiring.
tiring? Oh, yes,
Yeah,
I'm tired, and my weekend was tiring.
exactly, precisely.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And what was
Yes.
that?
Yes. Sorry?
Why is that?
Oh, I went to a party with my friends, so I didn't sleep too much, but it was good.
Oh, yeah. I had a similar issue. I didn't sleep very well
Yeah.
these weekends, and I'm very exhausted.
Yes,
Very,
me
very
too.
exhausted.
And it will take me all the week to recover.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We are not we are not youngsters anymore.
No, no, no.
All the week to recover for one party. Jesus Christ. That's too
Yes.
much.
And I didn't drink alcohol. I just drink some soda because I can drink right now.
Hmm.
So I think that it could be worse if I had drink
And what if I had drunk?
drunk
Drunk,
rushes.
drunk. And why you cannot drink?
Oh, because well, the doctor sent me some vitamins. Is it correct?
Mm.
Vitamins. Yes, and
Vitamins.
sorry,
Vitamins. Vita.
vitamins. Okay. She told me that I cannot combine these things with alcohol. Yes,
Ooh.
just for a few days. I think that is for 5 or 6 days, something like that. But this was just in the well, I started on Thursday, so it was in the middle of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Oof. That's gonna be. Yeah. Medicine. That's a normal situation with medicine.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens. Okay. And what about Mike? How was your weekend, bro?
Mm. I could, but I sick. I ill.
You
I
got.
have a
You
lot of
got sick.
uh, got sick. Mhm.
Mhm. You got sick.
Yeah, I was asleep.
Mhm.
Asleep in my
Yes.
house.
Yes. You're recovering for a problem. Are
Yeah,
you on COVID or what? Do you?
no, no. I was attested
Mhm.
last week.
Mhm.
No, it was negative.
Oh, nice. Very
It's
nice.
only how you say ill, como as gripa,
It's a flu.
a flu. It's
It's a
only
flu.
a flu.
Okay, yeah. Hope you feel better soon because we have to work and we have to continue
Yeah,
life like normal. So it's very, very important. Don't you think?
yeah.
Very nice, man. Okay, well, very good to see you guys. I want to know your opinion on the exam. I want to know what you experienced last Friday because there was a lot of action last Friday. I want to know what's your opinion on the listening, what's your opinion on the other exam, the use of language, and your overview, your probably feedback of what you saw last Friday. Tell me, guys. Who wants to start?
Me, if you want.
Cool, 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 cool. Go,
Well,
Isaac.
it was more difficult than I expected, to be honest,
Nice.
and especially because I didn't study it much. I've
Okay.
been a little busy, but yes, I really like it
Very good.
because it was something challenging. Um, and I feel what, and it was a little confused because I don't remember if we reviewed the part of when we had to use the how do you say it? That kind of verb like get have. I don't remember the name of this part.
Closed verbs.
Causatives.
Causative, yes.
Causatives.
So, yes, I got a little confused. The listening part was very interesting, and I think that I was already because I was expecting something easier than those audios. But yes, I really like it. And the problem is that I didn't know the structure, so I couldn't like plan my time, and and I remember that it was like 8 o'clock, and it was well, I hadn't complete the writing part, and I felt a little like stressed.
Okay,
But
okay.
yes, it was nice.
Okay, yeah, the well, yes, definitely. I try to give you the a very similar thing that you would be passing on a certificate, no, on a Cambridge certificate. This example, the listening test, for example, is very similar to the one in the exam. It's just two audios or two repetitions of the audio and questions, and that's gonna be like the rest of the exams are the same. A little bit different sometimes. Sometimes it's not like it's 7 questions for one conversation.
Yes,
In this case, was one question per conversation, so there were 8 conversations. No,
yes,
this little difference sometimes happens from one exercise and another. But let's say that I am giving you these exercises that are exactly the same in the final exam. Technically, in the final exam, we're gonna do all the full mechanic in
okay.
1 hour.
Oh,
So
okay.
exactly. It's a
Right.
lot of listening. A lot of listening. It's super
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, I have, I don't know, is it correct to say present or taken the TOEFL exam like
Take it.
three or taken 3 or 4 times in my life. But to be honest, I don't remember the audios. I remember that it's a little longer maybe. And as you mentioned, there are more questions per each one.
Yes. The
Yes,
thing is that is one exercise is this style. The second exercise has a different style. The third exercise has a different style, and so on. Every
yes.
exercise has a different mechanic.
Yes,
That's
but
the
I
thing.
think that it's a really good exercise to practice for the real certification exam.
Nice. Yes, yes, precisely. And that's the point. If you go for the objectives that you are getting in your particular case, a simulation for first certificate can give you can rise your TOEFL score because TOEFL is easier than first.
Yes, well, actually, I'm planning to take the other one. How is it called?
IELTS.
Toy? No, sorry.
Is it IELTS?
No, the TOEIC, the
TOEIC,
listening
exactly.
and reading in a few weeks. So let's see how it
Oh.
is. I,
Oh, TOEIC is a piece of cake, bro. It's a piece of
uh,
cake.
I
It,
hope that
yeah, yeah.
have
Just
some.
take care on the technical vocabulary. No, not technical, formal speech, because TOEIC has a lot of business. Uh,
Terms.
exactly, business terms and a lot of usual conversation in the office. Like TOEIC
Okay,
is for speaking in the office.
okay. Well, I think that I can handle it. I hope so.
Yeah, and I imagine you do that already.
Yes, almost
So
every day.
that's a piece of cake. That's definitely easy.
I hope so. I will let you know my score.
Please, please, please,
Yes.
please. Whenever you have your score, send it to me. I want to
Yeah,
check
so
how
well, I'm not
it
sure.
was.
I'm waiting to. Well, I'm planning to apply to a new position, but it hasn't been released yet. So once it is released, I have like 2 or 3 weeks to to apply. So
Okay,
I'm planning to take the exam between that weeks,
sounds good.
within those weeks. Yes.
Okay, okay, that sounds very, very nice.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Yes, please let me know. But
Yes.
yeah, that's the plan.
But to summarize, I like it. I like the exam.
Very good. Very, very good. That's super important to me that you like it, that you think it challenges you,
Yes.
because that's the most important part. When we are talking about English classes, most of the people think that is super easy and it's like, it's English, you know? Yes, but there is a specific point on getting to advanced that is kind of challenging, difficult
Yes.
sometimes. So good job, man. Very good. Now, talking about causative verbs, I think everybody had a problem with causative verbs, and that was mainly my fault because I thought that it was pretty obvious to use causative verbs if you know passive voice. The thing is that they are not so obvious. I discovered that we need to dedicate a specific lesson to causatives in order to understand what was the exercise about. So what we are going to do is we are going to include causatives in the next evaluation, and this is going to be like a little introduction to what causative is, because it's very connected to passive voice. Technically, passive voice and causatives are super super connected, but they have very specific applications. Um, Talking about that. So this is going to be this week's topic. The first week of the cycle, we are going to see causative verbs. Don't worry about that. And it was very, very, very confusing in the exam. I understand that, definitely. So don't worry about that. What I really want to check today is the rest of the exam, talking about specifically about passive sentences and when is necessary to use passive voice and when is not necessary to use passive voice, because precisely one of the first things that we need to know how to use is passive. In what situations it's necessary? I want to cover this first exercise and I want to talk about it uh, right now. It says, I don't know who did it, but somebody has let my rabbit out of this cage. The person who answered this exercise says that passive voice is needed. Why? Who can tell me why it's necessary in this case?
I think because the reality is the most important in the press.
Can you repeat?
I think the rabbit is
Uh-huh.
the most important on the phrase.
Sentence. Phrase is different.
Sentence.
In the
The
sentence,
sentence.
very good. Very, very good. The rabbit, which is the object that somebody let out, is the most important part. So we need, in this case, somebody, which is the subject, is not relevant to the story. When the subject is not relevant, we use passive voice. Very good, Mike. Very, very good job. In the next one, we have, I had a feeling that a person was following me. The person said that it was not necessary. This is incorrect. Tell me, Isaac, do you know why
Uh,
this is not necessary?
uh, I think that it was not necessary because I tried to convert this phrase in a passive voice and I couldn't. Well, I yes, I tried, but
Me too.
I couldn't find like the way to do it. So since I found it difficult, I how say I figured out that it could be like in active voice.
Okay. Well, let me then help you with two things.
Yeah.
The structure, we have here two structures. Structure number one, I have a feeling.
Yes.
The connector that should work as a separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a separation on two structures. The second structure is this one. A person was following me. And here you can see clearly two different persons that we're talking about, the
Yes.
subject and the object.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Similar case as the rabbit. The rabbit was the most important part of the sentence, being the subject who receives the action. The object who receives the action. In this case, you are receiving the action.
Okay.
Therefore, when a person is not relevant, you can
Yes,
omit
we
it
can omit it.
and you can switch.
Okay, yes, I get it.
I had a feeling that doesn't change, that I was
Was
being
being.
followed.
Okay, yes, I get it. Yes, and I try to use the complete sentences.
You wanted to
Yes,
start here, no?
yes, yes, and it
That,
was a problem. Yeah,
okay, that was super important.
yeah,
Super important. Sometimes it's the object, but it's not necessarily in the first part of the sentence. So we need to be
yes,
flexible on the persons, who's affecting who, etc.
yes.
All right, Mike, you have a question.
No, I have the same question the Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
I think I confused the change the passive voice.
Yes, precisely. I that's what I imagine. And you know what? This is very normal because we try to change I.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, if you insist in I, you are not going to see this. This is the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good. Next, my boss had instructed me to remove all the ashtrays. Do you know what is an ashtray?
No, I don't.
In the restaurants, in the past, there were ashtrays to smoke.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I get it.
Tray is a word that, well, is like a plate, and ash is the burnt paper that comes down. Right? Oh, this is funny. Anyway, that's an ashtray. Okay. Why is passive voice necessary in this case, Michael?
Oh, I think because the most important is ash trash because the boss want to remove that maybe.
Okay, so then what is the passive voice?
I think as my boss had instructed me, has try was removed. No, I don't know.
That doesn't make
No,
sense.
yeah, no.
Uh-uh. No, that doesn't make sense. Help, Isaac.
Well, I think that I answer incorrectly. But I think that it was because I was thinking that maybe this order could came from a different person, that it could not be like my boss. But yes, we can use the passive voice. Ashtrays were instructed to be, or how was it? Had instructed to be removed by my boss. Or maybe we can omit my boss because it's
Uh-huh.
an authority.
Yes, the second
Mm,
option. The
Yeah,
second option. The first one was a little bit far. It was more because you are talking about an authority.
yeah.
When the authority is not necessary to be mentioned. So then you start with I.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I were instructed.
I wear clothes, clothes.
I had been instructed.
Exactly.
Had
The
been
passive
instructed.
voice is I
Yes.
had been instructed to
Yes.
remove all the ashtrays. Ah, there you have it, guys. Difficult?
Yes.
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 Yes,
It's a little
but
tricky, I think.
it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky. Yes, it is. So that's why because thinking in Spanish, this doesn't make sense. All these rules don't exist in Spanish. The part of the authority, maybe in Spanish, it's very necessary to say, "I, my boss needed, my boss wanted, my boss, my boss, my boss." In our culture, the boss is the important thing. But in American culture, you are the important thing. So then the boss is like super implicit. Everybody has a boss and is super implicit the application of it, right? Got it? Understood?
Yes, actually, I was not sure when I answered this question because I was like in between the two options, so
You were like you
I
were
went for the
having
incorrect one.
okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, the option 2 was the correct one.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's pass to the next one. Do you want a lift? No thanks. My mom is picking me up. Tell me, Michael, why is passive voice not necessary?
Uh, I'm not sure, but I think the context is my mom is most important. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, your mom. So in this case, the mom is the important thing, no?
This tense, the most important is the mom because my mom is picking me up. No.
Kind of true. Yes, you are very close. Very close. It's very close to what you say. My mom is the most important part here because
Mm-hmm.
probably another person can pick you up. You
Okay.
know, you need to be specific on who is doing the action. My mom
Mm,
is picking me up. My brother is picking me up. My father is picking me up. So in this case, it's relevant to use the person.
the who? Okay.
The
Gotcha.
who exactly. Therefore, passive voice is not necessary. And it's not common to say I I mean it's possible to say I am being picked up. This is not common. Grammatically correct, but people don't say this. So this is something very relevant. Some sentences that are grammatically correct are not usually expressed in a normal conversation. Then
Mhm.
that even though grammatically you can use passive voice, that is not a normal sentence. So avoid it.
Okay.
Okay, that's the one. Not always, guys. Next, in the next session of Parliament, the government will introduce new laws aimed at stopping domestic violence. In this case, passive voice is needed. Isaac, do you know why?
Yes, I think that it's a similar case like the previous example that I answered, because you are talking about an authority. In this case, it's the government.
Fantastic. The same thing as the previous one. We are talking about the government. What would be the passive voice change?
In next session of Parliament, new laws. How do you pronounce Ayman?
Okay,
How do you
wait,
pronounce it?
pronunciation. Let's
Yeah,
check
I don't
pronunciation.
know.
Let's check. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you pronounce this?
aim,
And if the verb ends in
aim.
a voiced sound, in
Is with aims.
insinity.
Sorry,
Can you repeat?
aimed,
Perfect. Yes.
aimed. Yes.
Aimed.
The
So one more time.
okay. New laws aimed at stopping domestic violence. Uh, how do you use a will be introduced by will be introduced?
That's a very good question, and that's the reason why in this exam I only included a passive voice in present. But in the next exam, you will have passive voice with will, with had, with verb in past, etc. So in this case, you have will.
Yes,
The
it could be
standard.
good.
No. When you are
No?
talking about passive voice, you don't need to change the time. Will
Okay.
and would, as for reported speech, when you are
Yeah.
reporting, gossiping, is necessary.
Uh-huh.
But in this case, you only need to add the verb be.
Okay. Will be introduced.
Will be introduced. Very good.
Yes.
Complete sentence.
New laws aimed at stopping domestic violence will be introduced.
Fantastic. That is
Yeah.
a correct sentence. Normally, in an article in the news, we usually use this format.
Yes. Yeah, because it's something implicit that it will be implemented by the government.
Yep, that's right. Which is an authority. Very good. You can borrow all the Beatles records from the central library. In this case, passive voice is necessary. That's a very interesting one. Why? Michael.
Because the Beatles records is important for the phrase. But I have a question about this. How put or write from the central library? This is the first part.
Well, you need to find your most important information. What is the most important information in this case?
All the Beatles records?
Exactly. That's right. This is more relevant than the person you.
Uh-huh.
Because you is similar to say everybody.
Exactly.
You and anybody. Whoever.
In this case, is all the Beatles records is borrowed from central library?
Exactly.
No. Yeah?
Almost. You forgot can.
Let. Ah, my God. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All the Beatles records can be borrowed from central library.
Yes, from the central library.
Okay.
Very good, Mike. Very good.
I
All
think
the Beatles record.
Okay. No, when I did the exam, I think the from the central library
Was
was the
important.
first.
No, exactly. You need to locate. Let me help you with something, Mike. Locate the verb.
Okay.
Locate the verb. Instantly before the verb, you have the person. And after the verb, you have the object.
Okay.
This is the object. Automatically, you can eliminate the central library from the most important information.
Yes.
So the tip is to find the verb first.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
Very good. Very, very good. Next. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Mexico. Passive voice is necessary. Why, Isaac?
Because we can omit that we don't celebrate it. I mean, we can focus only on the holiday.
On the holiday,
Yes.
Omitting we.
Yes.
No? Very good. Very, very good. What is the result then?
And Thanksgiving is not celebrated in Mexico.
Thanksgiving is not celebrated in Mexico. That is correct.
Yeah.
Perfect. Very, very good. We arrived home late at night. Passive voice is necessary. No, it's not necessary. Michael, why not?
because this tense talking about the we, well, the person.
Uh-huh.
For example, my logic is the home no move. For example, home. The context is incorrect. I try to write in passive voice. I don't
Oh,
have a logic.
exactly. Yes. Why also? Because you don't have an object.
Uh-huh.
There is no object. Passive voice is only used when the verb has an object.
Okay.
Exclusively. And of course, it's like the first condition, no? The first
Mm-hmm.
condition is that you have an object. The
Uh-huh.
second condition is that is more relevant than the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are the two validations for passive voice.
Okay.
Okay? Does the bag belong to you? Passive voice is not necessary. Isaac.
Does these bags belong to me? I think that it's similar to the previous one because it doesn't make sense if you try to convert this phrase into passive voice.
Yes. Similar to the previous one.
Yes,
Precisely. That's right. The issue here is that we don't have an object to,
yes,
right? Is the connector to which separates the the verb from the next word.
yes.
Good. Unfortunately, Friday doesn't suit me. Michael, why is not necessary? Passive voice is not necessary.
It's the same, no? Because the budget doesn't exist.
The object doesn't exist. Very good. And the last one, the truck weighed 2.5 tons. Isaac?
And well, it's something similar, no? I
It's
guess
actually it's the same.
yes,
That's right. This specific exercise for me, I have we have the same exercises here in the bottom, and then the number 1, 2, and 3 are passive voice. But when you click the exam, it was random. It was like organized in a random sequence.
Okay.
So it's very normal that in this moment, all the last ones are not necessary, no? And on the other ones, it was necessary. So technically, when the student clicks the opens the exam, they get the random order. But that's the point. Good job. This is the part that I wanted to review with you. Okay. The other part. This is causatives. I know. This is written. Passive voice. The section 2 was about passive voice, and similar to what we said before, this specific section is all in present. So the only modification you needed to do is verb in present, the verb to be in present, and the next verb in past participle. So here you can see are received, is done, is written, is loved. You see? All the verb to be's are in present. Now for the next exam, in the next exam we have the yes, the passive voice in different types. In future, in past, in present, using have, using will, using can, could, shall, should, might, etc. So study the conjugations of the verb to be because we are going to continue for the next exam. These were linking verbs for descriptions and the feedback for you. So technically that was the exam review I wanted to do with you. Does it make sense? Do you have any question?
No, I don't have any
No,
question.
I don't.
Super cool, guys. Because now it's time to start our week. Something very, very important in a B2 conversation is to talk about sports. Why? Because it's very conversational. It's something one of the first conversations you have with another person is about their football team, it's about their American football team, it's about sports in general. Especially last year that was the World Cup, well, you can see how important it is to speak about football and other stuff in English. So that's what going to be our week's topic. I want you to see the video that I have ready for you, and let me know if you what you understand. Okay? The title is Why Sports Sound Better in Your Living Room. Why sports sound better in your living room. What do you understand with this title, Michael?
When some people watch the TV, it has a sound theater, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I think when it's different sounds when you watch American football or soccer player or baseball.
You say the home theater.
Home theater.
Interesting. Have you been on a football match live?
Yeah, American football.
American football live
Uh-huh.
in the stadium.
And the high school. And the high school.
Oh wow, interesting. Okay. And do you think it's better to watch it on television or in the stadium?
No, in the stadium. The stadium is the better because some people have energy or enthusiastic and other characteristics. It's very nice on the
I agree.
stadiums.
I agree. Very nice. Okay, what about Isaac? What do you think about watching sports on the stadium and on your TV?
Oh, well, to be honest, I don't watch too much matches.
Mhm.
I don't like, but I prefer at home.
You prefer
Yes,
at home?
yes, I've been in the stadium a few times, just like 3 or 4 with some friends. I agree with Michael, because like the people share their energy, or there's something like interesting, when you are how say, among the people. But I
Yes.
prefer to be at home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's in the case of like personality wise, it may be different. I agree
Yes.
with you. Now, talking about the sound, which one sounds better, on TV or in the stadium?
I think that it's better in the stadium because you can hear the people screaming when there is maybe a goal or something like this. But when you are watching in the match in the TV, you only can listen the commentaries from the how you say this person who tells you what's happening in the match.
The narrator.
The narrator, yes. So
Okay.
it's obviously not the same.
Yes.
To, yes. And so, yeah, so I think that it sounds better in the stadium.
Okay, that's a very interesting one. Very interesting one. In a moment, we're gonna check what's up with that one. What about Sylvie? Sylvie finally arrived. Tell me about your opinion on sports on the stadium versus your home. What do you like it? Which one do you prefer?
I'm almost in the same case like Isaac. I
Okay, we lost her. Connection problems. Yes, there are connection problems.
when I was my father.
All right, you're back. You're back. Can you repeat everything you said because we didn't hear anything? No, we lost her again, right?
Yeah,
Are you there,
it's
Sylvie? Yeah,
Oh,
she disconnected.
disconnected. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, anyway, when she comes back, we're gonna talk about that. Let's watch the video before the vocabulary so you can check what you understand, okay? Let's go. Let me show it to you over here.
Series. Several years back when the Rays made it to the World Series, they handed out cowbells. That's when you kind of second guess your career. It's just, there's only so much you can do when 30,000 people are all hitting cowbells.
The sounds inside a stadium can be unpredictable. But parked outside every major sports event in a semi-truck full of broadcast TV workers, there's an audio engineer tasked with bringing those sounds into your living room. They're called A1 mixers, and they're hired by the network that's broadcasting the game.
Basically, the easiest way to describe what it is I do is everything you hear at home in the broadcast I'm responsible for, other than commercials.
That means they mix the music, the announcers, interviews, but it also means this, and this, and this.
If you just went and looked at a World Series game from, 1980, and then you looked at like last year's World Series, it would be painfully obvious.
Double play ball, Boa, 1, cinch, 2. Out at second and out at first.
That takes a lot of work. To capture the ambience of the space, they point stereo microphones into the crowd. But we don't want to just be placed among the crowd. We want to hear the sounds of the game itself. And that requires microphones near the action to capture what they call field effects.
So I currently run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I run 10 on-court effects mics.
If you're sitting in the stands, you might not hear the sound of the net. But for viewers at home, there's a little microphone taped right under the basket. In baseball, the key sounds are clustered around home plate.
You see all the advertising boards, but there's also 2 little Blue Jays logos, and in those logos are parabolic dishes, and that's what I use to capture all the sounds around home plate.
Parabolic microphones use a dish to focus sound waves from far away. For big budget games like the World Series, you can see those mics around home plate too, but the setup becomes much more elaborate. They put wireless mics in the bases. They have handheld parabolics out in foul ball territory, and they wire up the outfield wall.
It is off the wall. Welcome back, Kyle Schwarber with a 2-out double. Unbelievable.
We actually started a couple of years ago burying mics in the grass and in the infield, so you can hear like some guys like Max Scherzer, they really kind of grunt when they release the pitch. And we also put mics on the foul poles. Some of them are like a real thunderous kind of cannon sound, like at Fenway Park.
Near the pole, home run, Bellhorn.
It's harder to capture field effects when the players roam around a big field.
You just hope that they're close to your mics. You've got a huge field with 15 guys running on grass.
A handheld parabolic mic can do a better job following the action, and that's long been the standard for NFL games.
Knocked away.
And when Fox came along, they put a mic on the umpire, and we were using that to pick up the cadence of the quarterback and the line coming together, and that was huge. The umpire was getting run over a lot, and to keep him from getting hurt, they moved his physical position from being on the defensive line to being on the offensive line. Well, that doesn't help me at all, because now he's behind the quarterback.
The next year, the NFL Players Union agreed to let the league put microphones on certain offensive linemen.
Hey, Scarecrow! Travolta! Brazil, tell it! Winnie! Can't wait to see what Travolta brings us.
Depending on who's mixing, it could be way up in the mix. I've been called on that because it's like candy, and I love it.
Carr making sure everybody's on the same page.
Express. That's it.
First and goal.
Those quarterback audibles are the only times they'll take a mic'd up player live during the game.
I'm sure you've seen the games, basketball games, where we mic up players. We mic up the head coach. Those mics will never be tracked live.
It goes to tape, somebody reviews it, and then it gets played back later.
I think I shot enough threes for today. It didn't go quite as well as I would have liked.
But the effects mics can pick up angry players too.
If something's getting heated on screen, I will, I'll kill those mics. I want people to be able to hear, but I got to be careful.
The A1 is constantly adjusting levels throughout the game, and not just to keep the show family friendly.
A lot of people would have the thought process that you just set up these mics and you just leave them be, and you don't. You can't. You're talking 20,000 people screaming, you got the PA sounds. So if you just leave all these microphones up, you're not going to get anything. So you're chasing the action with the faders on the mixing boards.
The game effects in hockey come from 10 microphones taped inside the glass, and the mixer will fade them up and down to follow the play. They can get those effects to pop even more by tweaking the EQ or equalization.
Most people would know it as like a car stereo. You turn up your highs, your treble, and your bass. Well, in our world, it's a little bit more specific than that. We can dial into actual specific frequencies.
So they'll tend to increase the high frequency EQs and turn down the low frequency. You don't want that rumble. So you want to hear the skate blades. You want to hear the sticks. You want to hear the pucks off glass. You want to hear them off the post.
But all those efforts can be drowned out by the A1's arch nemesis, the PA system in the arena.
If I could find PA people and beat them with a wooden stick sometimes, I would.
NBA is horrific because they run the PA during play,
The PA will bleed into all the mics in the building.
13 goals in their first 2 games in 1980.
But the audio team is always there, battling the noise on our behalf.
You should be able to hear the announcers, follow what they're saying. The game should be below that, and you should be able to hear everything that's going on in the game without struggling. It takes a lot of work to do that, if we do it right.
If you're into sports,
That's the one. What is the video about? Tell me, Sylvie. Let's begin with you now that we lost you at the beginning.
I'm sorry, teacher. I can see the video very well. My internet is falling. I don't know why, but it was super intermittent. How do you say intermittent?
Intermittent.
Can you listen to me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. It was very intermittent, and I don't like very much the sports, so
Okay.
I never learned a lot of vocabulary,
Mm.
and I didn't catch almost anything.
Interesting. That's gonna be very, very useful for you. Yeah, new vocabulary, a challenge, because you have a very easy exam, the last one. So let's check. Let's check how you do with this video. What about
Yes.
Michael? What do you understand?
I understand the video talking about the experience about the sound on the stadiums. For example, there are many microphones on different spots.
Right, very good.
And then the sound is better in the living room than the stadium, because the stadium is the normal or system sounds, normal system sounds, versus than the digital sounds on the TV, maybe.
Pronunciation, digital.
System digital.
Nice. So you understood how the one of the principal things of the video is where the microphones are located. There are microphones in different spots. That was a very good one. Very nice. Okay. What about Isaac? Is not here, right? Are you there, Isaac?
Yeah, I'm still here, but I'm leaving in a few minutes. But
Oh, yeah, that's what Sylvie was telling me.
yes, but yes, I can answer this. I think,
Excellent.
yeah, well,
Action.
it was interesting because I never imagined like there were like too many microphones around the stadiums or and even in the players, the house referees.
Yeah, the referees is in English.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it was really interesting how it works, no? Because when we are watching a match in our television, we can hear all these sounds. However, I thought that there were only one
Uh-huh.
microphone,
For
maybe on the
everybody,
camera,
no?
but no, there are a lot of around the yes, yes, and well, I think that it's something important the job that they do because they provide like the complete experience, no? Like if you were in the stadium, or maybe better, because when you are there, you cannot hear like the all these details, like
Exactly.
when the ball hit the floor, or the words that the players are saying.
Mhm.
But yes,
Mhm.
it was really interesting.
Super interesting. That and the did you check the basket? The little microphone under the basket?
Oh yes, the Microsoft in the
That's
yes,
crazy,
it
no?
was
It's
something
like
crazy. Yeah.
uh-huh. And this is something that we never consider. There is something that happens to producers and the yeah, well, when you make digital content and videos and things like that, something that people don't consider is important, that is a very relevant stuff, is how people hear. You know, I wouldn't be able
Yes.
to have my business in my yeah, like this type of business if I don't have a microphone. Like I think the two essentials for my business is good internet and a microphone. That's the most important technical part. You know, who would have
Yes,
thought
yes, of course,
that?
because you need, yes, and as I mentioned, I think that it's really good for the experience, for the customers, or the people who's watching the TV. So yes, it has a really nice quality, um, and makes you feel to be at the stadium.
Exactly. You are there, and yes, many people also like. Michael said, for example, to connect the television to the home theater just to watch football.
Oh yes,
And that's precisely not for, yeah, it completes the experience. You can hear the full panorama of the stadium in your house. So that's very nice. Very nice to hear.
yes.
Very good, guys. Well, this is going to be the video for the week. I'm going to give you the vocabulary for it. Mike, tell me now.
No,
Sure.
you don't have any question. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to show you this slide. This slide contains the vocabulary for the video that we are watching in this moment. I'm going to give you 7 minutes to read it, to get accustomed by it, and then we are going to watch the video again with specific notes. So let's make a timer. On 7 minutes. Start reading your vocabulary, and I'll see you in a moment.
Teacher, I can see the vocabulary.
Is it too small?
I just see the video.
The video.
What is it?
Oh, so you are stuck in the previous slide. Your internet. Let me screenshot for you.
Really?
Yeah, you're
What
stuck.
happened? Yes, please.
Here you go.
I know. The worst part is that I already told you
Yeah.
on Friday. Uh,
On
Let
Friday?
me read it.
But what happened on Friday?
No, that they changed me the. I don't remember the name of this little thing that um, modem, or is it modem
Yes, they
too?
changed it. Okay, yes, you told me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a modem.
Yeah.
No problem. Just read your vocabulary and let me know if you have a question. Okay, guys, let's pay attention to. Let's pause the time for a moment. Let's pay attention to Yesi.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Hi.
So I will say attendance. Is here Mike?
Here.
Hi, Mike. Thank you. Robert?
Absent.
And Rafael?
Rafa, absent.
All right. Silvana?
Yes.
Hi, Silvana. Thank you. See you. Isaac?
Isaac sí vino, pero se fue temprano.
All right. Jesus?
Jesús, absent.
And Alex.
Alex, absent too.
All right. So that's all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
See you.
Okay, guys, continue. Okay, it's time. Ready?
More or less.
More or less. Too much information, no?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Then I'm gonna give you this task for homework because, of course, Sylvie's internet definitely is not helping her.
Okay.
And Mike, you can have some time to take
Yeah, that's right.
your vocabulary.
Okay.
That's right. So I'm gonna pass you the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through the WhatsApp. Study your vocab, check the video, and on Friday we have the listening practice. Okay?
Okay.
Guys, very good job. I will see
Okay,
you
thank you, teacher.
tomorrow. Okay?
See you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
See you, teacher. Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you.